Today we're turning over the reins of television to you, the gentle viewers. We figured we'd let you play expert and get your opinion on the week's biggest news stories. Some call it madness. We call it the feedback loop. My guest today, all real Attack of the Show fans, or at least viewers at one point. From Los Angeles, Steve Silva is here. Also from L.A., Becky Actress Young of the Girl Gaming Network. And from Detroit, Michigan, Captain Smee, who's becoming his handle, apparently. Good to have you guys here in the loop. Let's start it off with Microsoft, because this isn't about Halo 3, by the way. Believe it or not, a Microsoft story that's not about a first-person shooter. But they began banning modified 360 consoles from Xbox Live. And a Microsoft spokesperson described the move as, quote, an important part of our efforts to try and maintain a fair gaming environment. Captain, let's start with you. Are you gaming any easier now that you're not up against firmware hackers playing pirated games?
Oh, absolutely. You can't have those guys on there doing that. Microsoft has every right to do this. It says in their terms of use, you can't use modified systems, you can't use burned games, you can't use games like that. And plus, I would beg to differ. Actually, Halo 3 has something to do with. They could have stopped this earlier, but the reason why they're stopping it now is because they don't want people cheating when Halo 3 comes out on Xbox Live.
All right, but cheating, but Actress, come on now. Some of these users, they're just trying to play backups, right? Don't they have a right to be furious and complain angrily on message boards?
You know, honestly, I haven't heard about the cheating so much as the regional codes. A lot of people are modding their Xboxes so that they can play games from Japan. And, you know, I gotta say, Microsoft, just make the games available and you might not find as much modded Xboxes out there.
All right. Steve, how do you fare on this?
Well, you know, it's their system. They can do what they want. If they want to stop certain people from playing, then that's what they can do.
All right. Now, let's move on to Warner Brothers, because they launched 2 viral websites more than a year before The Dark Knight actually hits theaters. Now, one of these sites leads to an image of Heath Ledger as the Joker. Steve, we'll go back to you. What do you think of Heath Ledger as the Joker? You excited by this?
I don't know. Brokeback Batman? Not sure. The original Joker is always going to be Jack Nicholson to me. I think the picture is great, though. It shows some promise. I'm really looking forward to seeing the whole movie anyway.
What about 10 Things I Hate About Harvey Dent, Captain? Aren't we excited?
Hey, I'm kind of scared, actually, of Heath Ledger being the Joker. He had an interview after he was announced to being the Joker, and the interviewer asked him, are you a fan of comic books? And he said, no, I've never been a fan of comic books or comic book movies. And they asked him, hey, has the director given you anything to read about the character? And he said, yeah, The Killing Joke. I think it's about the beginning of the Joker.
Oh.
I think? The Killing Joke?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, we're going to have problems.
Well, now, Actors, what about the viral nature of this whole thing? Do you think, movie companies and studios, they finally realize, hey, maybe we should get these big reveals out there before someone leaks it with a camera phone, a PA when he was getting lunch or something?
I'm not sure if it's so much about that, but I think that viral marketing is really the way that all of the movie companies should go. I mean, look at Blair Witch. That movie wasn't really Oscar quality, but because of the viral marketing behind it, it was probably one of the most memorable movies.
And are you worried at all that Heath Ledger is going to put on the face paint for this one?
You know, all I've got to say is A Knight's Tale. Yeah.
Well, he was dashing.
Concerned.
If anybody who can ride a horse that well can play a villain, is all I'm saying. XM Satellite Radio now. I'm a subscriber. A little frustrated. They experienced a second day of outages on Tuesday after some software problems took out one of the network's satellite signals. Captain, some customers are reportedly leaving because of this outrage and that. And you got Opie and Anthony fans who are picketing, apparently. I mean, is XM in real trouble here?
Yeah, I don't blame them at all. XM and Sirius are both in trouble, and they have been in trouble for years. They haven't turned a profit any year they've been in business. They're trying to get a merger done right now that they can't get done, and it is looking bad for them. This is the worst possible time these outages could have happened at.
Well, these outages, they were only, 2 days? I mean, your power goes out and do you switch companies?
True, but most people don't have the choice of switching companies. I mean, here they're paying for a service. I believe they'd expect it to be up when at least regular radio was still running, right?
That's true.
Becky, your thoughts on the XM issue?
Honestly, I think that the people kind of need to suck it up a little bit. Yes, there's an issue, but there's always going to be technological issues going on. You know, technology isn't perfect yet. Do I think that XM owes them a little bit of, money back? Sure.
Yeah, give them 2 days of service credit, right?
You don't need to be leaving the company just for a couple days off.
And if they could make the music not sound like a 98K MP3 file, I'd be very happy, XM. All right, finally, yesterday, Google's chief executive Eric Schmidt said that Google hopes to maximize the personal information that it gathers from users. He wants Google to one day actually be able to answer questions like, what should I do tomorrow? Or which job should I take? Captain, we're one step away from Skynet, right? Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong,
basically,
please.
that was the first thing I thought when I heard about this too, was just waiting for the machines to show up and come and get us. But no, it kind of scares me because I want to know what kind of people are going to want to sit there at their monitor and go, oh, I have a day off tomorrow. What should I do?
Right.
Or what should I have for lunch today?
Which child should I pay attention to or take care of? It's like, Steve, can you imagine one day where you would actually use the internet to help you decide what job to take?
No, definitely not. But also, this is kind of an invitation for hackers. How much more personal information is going to be on Google in the years to come.
All right. Becky, final thought from you. Are you worried about how much information is out there on the net? Would you willingly give up more info to Google if they promise to do no evil?
There's already far too much information about all of us on the net right now, and I really don't think that the government, nor David Schmidt, nor anybody else needs to know what my dietary habits are or if I had sex last night.
Fair enough. But if you do want to blog about it, I will gladly read it. Becky, Captain, you look dashing as always. Steve, thank you as well. Thanks to all my guests for keeping us in the loop. If you want to be part of our feedback loop and appear in a little box on the video wall, even wearing a Pirates hat, send us some smart video viewer mails and be creative. Ask the tough questions. Just get involved. We'll have you on.
Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7, only on G4.